Hello, welcome to Old Virginia Homes. Time has been unkind to the 18th century house we'll be visiting today, yet it has endured and currently is under careful restoration by very caring stewards and extremely competent craftsmen. Thank goodness, because it is a treasure. This is the boyhood home of John Marshall, considered to be the man who shaped the very nature of the Supreme Court and its role in government. This house, once forgotten and left to the ravages of time and nature, now stirs again. But it's not yet teeming with the life that it once had. We'll be exploring this house mid-restoration, seeing the progress of the slow, careful revival of a home that will not be forgotten, and learning about the exciting plans for its future. Join me as we visit The Hollow, an old Virginia home in Markham. Let's go. Built in 1764 by Thomas Marshall, The Hollow is considered one of the oldest structures still standing in Fauquier County. Thomas and his wife Mary moved their growing family here to Wildcat Hollow at the southern base of Naked Mountain. And it was here that John Marshall lived, learned, and played from age 9 through 17. There were 5 children in the family when they moved here. 5 more children were born in this house before Thomas and Mary decided that they had stretched the walls as much as they could and moved again, this time to a larger and finer house called Oak Hill. Thomas and Mary had 15 children in total. John Marshall's time at the Hollow included exceptional early education by his father, who was employed as a surveyor and land agent by Lord Fairfax, which provided him with a good income. John later fondly recalls his earliest teacher. I was born on the 24th of September, 1755, in the county of Fauquier, at that time one of the frontier counties of Virginia. My father possessed scarcely any fortune and had received a very limited education, but was a man to whom nature had been bountiful, and who had assiduously improved her gifts. He superintended my education and gave me an early taste for history and for poetry. To his care I am indebted for anything valuable which I may have acquired in my youth. He was my only intelligent companion and was both a watchful parent and an affectionate, instructive friend. The Hollow is a 1.5-story frame, hall and chambers style house measuring 16 by 28 feet. The West Hall includes a fireplace and originally contained the boxed stairs. The stairs' lower winder portion was flipped to the east chamber during later modifications. The walls and ceilings have beaded horizontal boards painted with a lime wash. However, after removal of some of the boards, pieces of lath were found, indicating that the rooms were probably originally plastered. The cellar is entered through an opening in the west hall floor. It's a useful space and does have windows for light, but at this point is only about 5 feet high, so it's a bit tight for walking around. This niche may have opened at one time for access to the exterior, but further investigation needs to be done. My own archaeological finds in the cellar include these odd little characters. The garret has 2 bedchambers with a central passage. It's hard to imagine how furniture would be configured to sleep 12, but it certainly would have been cozy, definitely warm in the winter with the fireplace and body heat. The rafters have traditional pegged mortise and tenon joints, and the floors are made from 8 to 12-inch hewn, tongue-and-grooved boards. You can also see remnants of lath and plaster in these rooms. The reasons that the Hollow fell into such a state of neglect during the 20th century and relegated to obscurity are open to supposition, but there are a few theories. Of course, the structure is modest, and Thomas never actually owned the land. He leased the 330-acre property from Ludwell Lee. Thomas built the house, but for most of the dwelling's existence, it was used as a tenant house. And although Thomas Marshall was successful, once considered the leading man of Fauquier, sitting in the House of Burgesses and as sheriff of the county, his son became the better known in American history. Chief Justice John Marshall's house in the Court End neighborhood of Richmond has been beautifully preserved and maintained. In 1981, Friends of the Hollow formed, a nonprofit organization originally dedicated to preserving and protecting the Hollow, but whose mission now includes historic research, restoration, and public education. The board of directors is made up of 4 Marshall descendants. In the early 2000s, Dr. David Collins purchased the land, providing critical funds to stabilize the structure. He partnered with Friends of the Hollow, launching architectural and archaeological investigations which informed efforts to restore the home. In 2003, the home was placed on the Virginia Landmarks Register, and in 2004 was added to the National Register of Historic Places. After Dr. Collins' death, his widow, Mary Collins, donated the Hollow with a 7-acre tract of land to Friends of the Hollow. Friends of the Hollow continues in its fundraising efforts, with intentions to complete its restoration and expand public education about John Marshall. Their long-term vision is to open the property to visitors, and a park is in early planning stages. To learn more, visit Friends of the Hollow online. Thank you for visiting the Hollow with me, an old Virginia home.